Nuclear force is the strong attraction that holds protons and neutrons together in a nucleus. Radioactivity is the process in which an unstable nucleus changes and emits radiation. Alpha radiation is radiation made of helium nuclei emitted from some unstable nuclei. Beta radiation is radiation made of fast electrons or positrons emitted from some unstable nuclei. Gamma radiation is high-energy electromagnetic radiation emitted from an excited nucleus. Half-life is the time it takes for half of the unstable nuclei in a sample to decay. Nuclear fission is the process in which a heavy nucleus splits into smaller nuclei. Nuclear fusion is the process in which light nuclei combine to form a heavier nucleus. A chain reaction is a process in which one event triggers more events of the same kind. Ionizing radiation is radiation that can knock electrons off atoms and create ions. Absorption is when energy from a wave is taken in by a material. Transmission is when a wave passes through a material. Scattering is when a wave is redirected in many directions by interactions with matter. A monochromatic wave is a wave with a single wavelength, or a very narrow range. Coherence is the property of waves having a stable phase relationship. A laser is a device that produces highly coherent and directional light. A diffraction grating is a surface with many evenly spaced lines that separates light by wavelength. A telescope is an instrument that collects light to make distant objects appear larger or clearer. A microscope is an instrument that makes very small objects appear larger. Resolution is the ability of an instrument to distinguish two close points as separate. A convex lens is a lens that is thicker in the middle than at the edges. A concave lens is a lens that is thinner in the middle than at the edges. A converging lens is a lens that makes parallel light rays tend to come together. A diverging lens is a lens that makes parallel light rays spread out. A concave mirror is a mirror that curves inward like the inside of a bowl. A convex mirror is a mirror that curves outward like the outside of a bowl. A virtual image is an image that cannot be projected onto a screen because rays do not actually meet there. A real image is an image that can be projected onto a screen because rays actually meet. Diffuse reflection is reflection from a rough surface that scatters light in many directions. Specular reflection is reflection from a smooth surface that keeps rays orderly. Static electricity is an imbalance of electric charges that stays on an object. Charging by friction is creating static charge by rubbing two materials together. Charging by contact is transferring charge by touching objects together. Grounding is providing a path for charge to flow to the earth. Electric discharge is a sudden flow of charge through air or another medium. An insulator breakdown is when an insulating material suddenly becomes conductive under a strong electric field. A conductor's resistance is a property that describes how much it opposes current flow. A voltmeter is an instrument that measures voltage between 2 points. An ammeter is an instrument that measures electric current. An electromagnet is a magnet made by an electric current flowing through a coil. A solenoid is a coil of wire that produces a magnetic field when current flows. Inductance is the property of a circuit element that resists changes in current by inducing voltage. An inductor is a circuit component, often a coil, that stores energy in a magnetic field. Impedance is the overall opposition to alternating current in a circuit. Reactance is the part of impedance caused by capacitors or inductors in alternating current. A waveform is the shape of a signal or wave as it changes over time. A sinusoidal wave is a wave whose shape follows a smooth repeating sine-like pattern. A harmonic is a frequency component that is an integer multiple of a fundamental frequency. A spectrum analyzer is an instrument that shows how a signal's energy is distributed across frequencies. Damping is the gradual loss of oscillation due to energy being dissipated. A damped oscillation is an oscillation whose amplitude decreases over time. A driven oscillation is an oscillation maintained by an external repeating influence. Natural frequency is the frequency at which a system tends to oscillate when disturbed. A resonance peak is the large response that occurs when driving frequency matches the natural frequency. A standing sound wave is a standing wave pattern formed by sound in an enclosed space or on a string-like air column. An acoustic cavity is a space that can support standing sound waves. An absorber is a material designed to reduce reflections by taking in wave energy. A filter is a device that allows some frequencies to pass while reducing others. A low-pass filter is a filter that passes low frequencies more than high frequencies. A high-pass filter is a filter that passes high frequencies more than low frequencies.